everybody. Hello. Good morning. Welcome. Apologies for the little delay. My team here was putting all the technicals in place. I wanted to make sure I had the beautiful painting, papyrus all set to welcome you. So, welcome, my friends. Mr. President of America, Joe Biden, that I admire very much. I hope everybody joins the French president, our Russian president, and community. My team 143, my kitties, the masterminds, the United Nations, my Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels, the US military, and of course my angels from Argentina. Everybody's welcome. Men, women, children of the world, citizen, and truth seekers, everybody. Welcome. I'm very happy and honored and excited to do this video today. Oh, look at that. See, that was the missing piece of the puzzle. Have a lion, my real life lion, kitty cat. Because, I had a revelation like 10 minutes ago, rereading a passage of the Emerald Tablets and realizing how what's happening right now is really prophetic, is really happening like it's like an accomplishment for me of a journey to be able to call you up on my videos like that, and knowing that this is a network we've been creating for so long and that actually encouraged me to write this book. So this is the topic of today. I'm announcing the completion of my book, the Pachamama Encyclopedia, that I just finished. See, it's a decent sized book. I'm not gonna lie, I have to finish the bibliography and to proofread my last chapter and conclusion, but pretty much it's done. Within a week, I hope it will be on Amazon, available for purchase, and we'll be able to start the trainings. So I want to talk about this today. There will be 3 parts to these videos. Explain a little bit about the book, what encouraged me to do the book, the inspiration, the goals, the purpose of it, and maybe the logistics. And then, of course, it's difficult to celebrate when you know what's going on in the world at the same time. The refugees in Syria, the war in Ukraine. So I absolutely want to be a spokesperson and place myself in this role of mediation, maybe, because I feel like a citizen of the world. I'm French, I live in America, I've lived in Peru, I have Russian friends, I love to travel, I feel like I'm an American, but I also feel like I belong to every place that welcomed me as a home, and if not me, that supports and shows solidarity to each other, because this is really what's going to solve the world. So my second part will be talking about Ukraine and Russia, and the third part will be the earthquakes in Syria, offering solutions and insights as well, with some exciting projects, being realistic as well. It's not just being in an utopia, but what characters are we talking about? What's the past and the history to take into account, so we can transcend all that and look forward to the future. So thank you for joining me. So the book, this is really our book, okay? It was like a Spartan race, literally, to write this book, because 3 years locked up here, with really all my life crashing, nothing happening the way I want, and yet always have this safety net behind me, something to keep me going, that showed me that I was still on the right path. Because sometimes you can feel like if you're working on something and it's not working, well, maybe it's time to give up and change direction. But that wasn't the case for me. I started doing this book. My business was crashing. I will explain why. Divorce, all of that I've explained before. And yet I felt that it was because this was lacking in the world. Solidarity was lacking, partnerships, promoting each other, a society of collaboration. And I've had those grudges. I'm going to talk about it a little bit and more when we talk about Russia, because what I'm talking at the individual level is happening at the collective level as well. Those grudges that I had for the people who didn't partner with me, and I knocked at so many doors, and I turned all this resentment into creative fire and bring what was missing and understanding, because there was a generation that grew up in opposition. They grew up in conspiracy theories, and the conspiracy, they come from something. Okay, it's not just conspiracy. There's a part of truth. There's not just perfect people all around the world. So a society of opposition that then became a society of competition. This is where we are now. The art of warfare is also an art. So it's really difficult to let go of that. So now how can we switch all that to turn into a society of collaboration? This is exactly the topic of my book. I'm promoting, okay, because in the opposite of this, letting you ground, letting you do alone, a butterfly has to come out of his cocoon on his own. And it's true, because these rejections, in a way, pushed me to go knock on many doors and many doors and many doors. And every time I was telling my story and I was assembling people, I was telling my story and recommending others as well that helped me on the journey. And what happened as a consequence of that is that we all became a solid tribe that trusts each other, that took years to learn how to function, how to have faith in the system, listen from the people in need to bring them solution, listen to the government to support and be able to bring the change also from us, from the small businesses, and then ripple all the way up. So a lot of research and development to put in this book. And of course, it's art, it's about cultures. So you see, what happened? About culture, about learning different cultures, so we're not scared of the different. Okay, what you don't know, people are scared of what they don't know. This is why it's so difficult to welcome refugees in your house, to welcome others, because you're scared of what you don't know. And you have your little comfort. I earned my comfort. I deserve it, and they just gonna come and take it. But imagine if it was you. You maybe God blesses you so you can bless others, So the fear of the unknown, this is something that shocked me when I came to America, but you have it in every country. This is why I started doing these workshops about cultures and symbols. So this is the very first document that I was using during my workshops, showing symbols from around the world. And it started with that, and then learning the language of the media, exactly to stop these conspiracy theories, because once you learn that the truth is in plain sight all the time, you learn to read the codes, decode everything. There cannot be no lies, okay? Because the truth become evidence, and we open discussions, and now it's all transparent. And then the conspiracy disappears because the trust is here. So, of course, creating beautiful art as well. Because when you're not feeling like talking about a difficult topic, or when you're too tired to read because maybe you're working, or maybe you don't know what you don't know, so you love to read fictions, you love to read about science or a certain topic, but you're completely not into politics, or you're not really into arts, or self-development, I don't need that, anything, when you're not into reading or investing a lot of time because you don't have the time or whatever, an artwork is instant. You look at an artwork, and whether you want it or not, it gets engraved into your eyes, the door of the soul. It's engraved in your subconscious. It carries messages, it carries light calls. So this is why the art, take them by the art, because it's so important. There is meaning into everything that you see, what you surround yourself in your house. is very important. It determines what you're going to look at every day, what inspires you, what you read. Okay, so that's why the art is the key to the communication as well. So the communication and life itself become an art. So this book is about so many topics. Okay, so the trainings really are for everybody. My dot is the entire world, really, because if you want to do bachelorette's party or a birthday party or a lady outing, something very feminine, I talk about the sacred feminine. There is vegan. I can do an entire team building workshop of 3 hours of an entire week. It doesn't matter. I can adapt to any needs, any organization, any topic with this book. You want to do, I can do a whole Flower of Life art retreats where we eat vegan, we do workshops, we take care of ourselves, we read books and relax by the pool. This is possible. If you're in the military and you want to learn counterterrorism and learning coded or decoding or coding communication, cyber threats, or all of these symbolism, learning from cultures, learning stereotypes, all of this, I can do an entire week workshops on that topic as well. It's there. Anthropology, my favorite topic when I was in the university was anthropology with Edward T. Hall, that teach about the distance. Okay, so for some you have a personal distance. For example, the Arabs, they have a very tactile experience of life. They speak louder, they have more spices, they touch each other, really strongly, because for them, God is external, it's everywhere, and their own soul is deep inside. So in order to reach that soul that's deep inside, you need a strong contact experience of the senses. While for Asians, for example, they consider that the Ma, the soul, the God, is a unity with everything. So it's everywhere, it's within, it's without. So you don't need to be in my zone that close for me to feel your energy, for me to understand you. And so this is where they're a lot more distant, and there's less contact and stuff like that. So I thought this was very interesting because in the end, it solves a lot of quiproquos in the society. And this is the same for art, politics, all of that. If you want to do a workshop about purely art and symbols, we can do that. Self-development and marketing, how to create a business, how to look for a job. I've put my motivations letters for the United Nations. I also describe the mission of the United Nations in there. You see I have all the job descriptions. Have Antonio Guterres here with the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. Whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Yes, this is just the most important. It's all about understanding each other to bring peace and solving the conflicts, passing over it, and being able to still support each other over our differences. So intuition, politics, academic. So this is a whole curriculum. This is a whole academic curriculum that you can learn in a year. We can do a chapter, 2 pages a day for a year. Yearly, there will always be more content to discussion, but there is everything: politics, terrorism, intuition, how to learn your intuition, science, and all of that. So what fight racism? These are all the beautiful visuals from the United Nations. We are a visual society nowadays with the social media. Everything comes through our minds and the social media. So why did I decide to write this book? At first, like I said, it was supposed to be an art retreat that I was organizing in my house, and I was posting about symbols, and people started misinterpreting it, feeling offended, and I started developing also my intuitive abilities. And this is a very important topic because I also had another revelation earlier. And you can have all the intuition, you're always connected, you always receive messages, but the way you interpret it depends on your own experience, your own cultural experiences, your stories, your vision, and the truth has many versions, okay, from different perceptions. So this is why it's so important to be able to receive other perceptions as well, so we can all figure out the truth. So when I started talking about that, then I got bullied really bad. I received death threats. There was terrorism involved. All of this is the story in the book. I can't tell you everything because I still need you to buy it. But I was, I got bullied by my own French government in my hometown and threats to my family. I mean, it was horrible because at the time I didn't have all my team. I didn't have people that I didn't feel safe at all. And I was just by myself. I was a mom and in the middle of a family crisis at the same time, and I was completely terrified for my life, for my son. Plus, I didn't know what I was going to do. It was just the darkest place of my life, and it took a long time for them, but then they came and they proved me better. I stayed silent for a long time because I didn't know who was my friend and who was my enemy. I didn't know who I could trust. So I started knocking at some doors, but all the doors were closed. And all of a sudden, it started creating this rolling effect that people showed that they were listening, they showed attention, and they showed that they were protecting me. And then I started feeling more safe, and they observed me. Can we trust this chick? And I was the same, sneaking into everything. I want to know the truth now, what's going on. And this is the Pandora box. This is why the book is so big, because the Pandora box, once you open it, there's no end to it. You can knowledge is infinite. So at some point I had to finish. But once you get the concept and the mindset, then you can apply it to everything. So I realized then they're good people. The governments, they're proving me better. My masterminds, we've been there through every stage, the good days, the bad days, the anger, the grudges, and the sharing the successes of each other. They're growing like crazy. I'm always so proud of them, and they're pushing me to become better as well. No matter what, we're a family, and I want this for everybody. I want this to expand, and when I see the expansion and how it's reaching everybody, then the world is completely going to shift. But why was it not working for me? Because I have a life contract, okay, that I realized that a little while ago, that I couldn't get out of this on my own, because the point of me diving into this abyss was to bring people up with me. So this is why I had to knock at all these doors. This is why I had to expand to all the countries, all the organizations, so people could see it. And the people that are in the true darkness, they could come and rise with me. I can't do it without you. I can have success unless you come out with me as well, because this is in my life contract. So this is why now who needs the most? Who needs the most? I'm talking in this book about the single mothers. We need to have a universal income for the single mothers because it's too difficult. The society is not the same that it was before, and now there's so many more people and everything is so expensive. It's too difficult to do it alone. We need to bring back this solidarity and be loyal, to values. So this is the book of the great reconciliation. And now Russia, because they are the ones who need the most. They have, when they have this impression of other people, they're the enemy. And then you're stuck in this bubble of grudges. But you have to turn it into, you can transmute it. The possessed. Vladimir Putin, he talks about the possessed. And that made me think a lot about Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And I feel this all the time, this double, there's two wolves within you. And the one you feed is the one you win. The one of the wolves is the anger, is the fear, the grudges, and they're legit. Okay, some things I don't appreciate that people did to me, and I think that's not right, that's not decent. And at the same time, if I keep complaining about it, you push them away and the situation gets worse. So what is the best that you can do is show the new and bring better. And it's the same exactly for Russia, because if you stay in this enemy mindset, it will never get better, you know. And I wanted to show a picture from this. Remember this. This is the election of Vladimir Putin, with all the president here celebrating together, and they're so happy. And there was a unity. And then what happened? I don't know. The Bush administration was probably not the most peaceful time on earth, and then it degrades because you screw up and another screw up and another screw up, and then you're so deep down that you can just arm yourself against this truth that you've built, or you can just switch your mind. So let me explain something very very deep, because I had a dream a year ago, just before the war started in Ukraine. I dreamt that I was in a marina, and I found some underground facilities, and a lady waiting for me, a blue being, waiting for me, like I had to free her. So then, just after that, started the war in Russia. And Vladimir Putin was saying that he was freeing, that the Ukrainian government took this monopoly over their people, that he was actually freeing them and cleaning up the country from human trafficking and stuff like that. So in my mind, that's what it was. I was like, that's it. He's actually helping the country, because there is human trafficking. Oh my God, the eastern countries of Europe, this is where they all come from. The prostitution, the child trafficking, and all of that is horrible. And then 2 days ago, I realized the symbolism of the dream. It was not human trafficking, it was Ukraine. The being was the country, the land calling me, America. Okay, it was a call for help, like, we're underwater, come help us, we don't know how to deal with that. And the president of Ukraine apparently is a great person, and Vladimir Putin, he's the shark, like he's done this all of his life. He was in the KGB, he went through the Soviet Union, and people lost their identity, their references. He had to be that pillar that shows an identity, because yes, everything you learn in the books, in the school books in France, America is the most powerful country in the world, and this is set, and what about the other countries, so he had to show himself as the pillar for Asia, to say, no, we are a great nation too, and we can defend our image. And so he placed himself in that, and with that story of being a protector, of a defensor. But you can't protect if you're killing. That's the thing. It's if you're protecting, then you're helping. And I truly believe that at that point, Vladimir Putin shouldn't be preparing for a war. He should be negotiating his freedom. Okay, because this is not possible. The Russian people even want the peace. Nobody wants a war. I'm not talking from an American standpoint, or a French standpoint, or a Ukrainian standpoint, or a Russian standpoint. I'm talking about just a woman. I wouldn't like to be in a country where there is war, and where I'm scared of, what if I speak up? What if I'm against the regime? If your president is constantly saying, those people there, they showed loyalty. These people there, we're going to show them, what it is to betray the country and stuff. Like, this separation, it creates fear. And I see the pictures of the military. They're so young. Like, there's kids. You send them to war. You send them to all that. So I understand this outcast mentality. I understand this anger of revenge, because you want people to understand your truth, but only by showing better can you switch the dynamic. And like I said, again, at that point, Russia needs to negotiate its freedom because they're mad. They're mad. Like all the countries of the world, everybody's working for peace, and there is this one this just wants to prove his point by doing war. So you need to negotiate your freedom. I would stand to defend, Russia if Russia has to come back as an ally for the world, has to show extraordinary comeback to show and help. And if he says that Russia has the biggest, he said nobody can win Russia in the battlefield, you have the best equipment, then use it for the good. Use it for the good. Come back as an ally. So so the art of warfare, I want to talk about this because of course everybody wants peace, but let's say it like it is. Everybody wants safety on the road, but some people like race cars and they like to race. Some people, they like guns and they like war. Has always been an art, okay? Since the beginning of the world, people did war because they felt strong. You can show excellence, you can show your technology. The problem is that there's a difference between people like a sword fight and nuclear weapons. A nuclear weapon can literally change the trajectory of the earth, the orbit of the earth, if you blow those stuff up, okay? Plus you have people underneath, okay? Just imagine if it was your sister. That's it. There's no other, when it happens on the other side of the world, it's just the others. You don't really feel it like your reality. Just imagine it's your sister, the level of stress that you have every day. And it's not noble to die for your country. It's not. It's noble to live for your country. It's noble to fight for the freedom. It's not noble to die for your country. You're here to live. So how can we solve this problem? How can we have all these weapons put to service of something great that shows the excellence and that continue this art of warfare without hurting people? By creating the Space Olympics. Okay, so what's happening pretty much right now in space? Where is my little... Okay. So you see, we have that space program here. They're programming to send out weapons and new jets. F-35 intercepts Russian fighter aircraft near Alaska. The second in 2 days, the Tu-95 Bear. Look at all these aircrafts. All this stuff is flying over our heads. I want to use this technology really quick. Okay, I want this to be a help for Turkey and Syria. Then, so the two things, the Space Olympics and Turkey and Syria. So which one do I start with? Let's start with the Space Olympics. Building new spaceships. So I have a Ministry of Sound mastermind that talks about sound levitation technology, okay, to master anti-gravity. When there was the earthquake in Syria, I had this vision of lifting up rocks like this, just with my hands, like just lifting up the rocks and moving them all, in one space, all at that point. So in between, we can be rebuilding the land. I saw lots of trees, rebuilding even better than it was with trees. And what do we do with the people? We have to relocate the people. We have to have the French government, all the neighbors, like Poland is doing, Poland opening their borders for the Ukrainian refugees. We need to have France, Italy, Germany. We need all these countries to open up their borders, and America as well, to have the Syrian refugees and the Turkish refugees as well. For me, I have my house, I want my peace. And since I have my house, every single time I have people, friends with kids, who come and ask me to stay with me. It's difficult to say yes. I'm already having a hard time with my own kid. I can't even deal with my own cleaning and my work and my kid, and now I have to do it with other people's kids. It's difficult. I worked to fight so much for my peace, and now I have to open my house. But it's friends. They're friends. Are you here for your friends? And we all say, oh, the peace, yeah, the peace, we open, but let the other ones do it. We're not going to do it. And once they're here, then we communicate. Okay, of course, if you're coming to people's house to put a mess and not respect, and the Syrians, and they go to other countries to steal and destroy, of course, it's going to install a fear of each other. Okay, so we need to set up rules. Okay, you're going to be relocated to some families, and there's so many empty apartments in France. There's all the rich British people, the Russian people, Netherlands. They all have empty apartments there in the south of France that are empty for the entire time of the year. We need the government to ask these people to make these apartments available. And I know the French government says they don't want to have people come and take their territories like that, but what if it was you? You were in the street and there's empty apartments. This is unacceptable. Every time I go back to France and I saw all these empty apartments and I see people in the street, they should be illegal. Okay, we need to take a little bit of our great comfort and offer it to those who have nothing. Okay, it's not because you've grinded and you made it that the other one have to grind. No, you were blessed that it worked for you, so now you can be the one who's helping the others. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing, because they learned like that. They learned to grind, and so this is how they feel like it's working. This is my recipe for success. You're grinding, and then woo, it's open up and you're out of the tunnel. This is their recipe for success, so they really believe it. Like I said, this is like, helping a butterfly come out of this cocoon kills the butterfly. It's true, it's a law of nature. But at the same time, in a time of emergency, if you see a butterfly and that has the stuff stuck on his wings and it's hurting the wing, at some point you gotta help it, and that's not natural that there was all these refugees. There has always been earthquakes. There's always been dramas. Just like a person, there's always been sick people in all areas of the world. However, if you open up your veins and you let your blood drain, or if you're pulling blood, all the blood of your body, you start defibrillating more than if you had just a small fever. Okay, so the oil is the blood of the earth. It's the same thing. If you keep digging, the earth is going to have stronger and stronger impacts. Earthquakes, disasters, and stuff like that. It's all related. So building new spaceships, clean, renewable, self-sustainable, will solve completely the problem of the oil. We will work with better fusions of metal, but we need to do it now. Before they're starting building so many rockets, so many spaceships, and NASA, they're doing amazing, because in all their new stuff, they're adding solar panels. They're trying to integrate progressively the technology, but we need to put all our resources, our engineers, inside the schools, the Naval Postgraduate School, the NASA, all this engineering. If you saw all the jobs that are open now for space engineering, this is ridiculous. This is the future. If you want, make sure you're going to have a job later, go study space engineering. But we have to right now implement this into the renewable energies field. Okay, so work with scientists, and we have these awesome spaceship right here, created by Adam Apollo, that really made me enthusiastic and excited, because it's happening. We just got to build them. See, where science meets the art of warfare. So why not creating a new, you see, there is all of us in there. It's really a referential of the future. Okay, what are the references, the schools you need to go learn, what we can bring to respond to the United Nations requests, right, for the climate change and the environment, and to solve war, creating the most incredible space Olympics. There's already stuff going on in the stratosphere that we don't know about. And create space Olympics with like a giant laser tag. Okay, we're not gonna have missiles anymore. This needs to disappear. Guns needs to disappear. Missiles need to disappear. But a giant laser tag, making a Olympics, a competition. This is excited. I would watch that. It's like a real life Star Trek. Who wouldn't be excited about that? So instead of killing each other, we're there competing and we're all friends. So that's my first. Then equipping those spaceships, and urgently we can do it already to the aircrafts that we already have with sound technology. So this is not something I made up. This is an intuition that I had, but it already exists. It's called the HARP project. And Billy Carson, Matthias De Stefano, they talk about it as well, studying how the ancient Egypt or the Incas and stuff, nobody knows how they built these big rocks. How did they build those things, displace these big rocks that were so heavy? They don't know, and the answer is sound technology. So the very same way that in healing, they talk about these healing frequencies of having a frequency and another frequency that's 11 times higher, okay, to harmonize the frequency of the body. And I think they call it the frequency of healing. And I believe it would be the same for sound levitation, because once you have a frequency, so the sound, you know, when you put your hand next to a bass, right, how do you call it? No, sound. The speaker, you feel the vibration if you put your hand next to it, okay? So you have a vibration and you have another one that's higher. So whatever is in the middle is wrapped in between those frequencies. And then by displacing, if like imagine this is the speaker and I have my object stuck in the frequency, and then I move the speaker like that and the object can move with it. Seems pretty logical. So using those aircrafts surrounding the debris in Turkey and Syria, putting them all around it, using those sound frequency to levitate everything and relocate them where we want, so we can actually start working on the reconstruction of the land. But in this time, we need to move the people. These people, they don't need just food and urgent like survival, but they need a long-term plan. Okay, so I'm asking the French president, the Russian president, just because I know there's a lot of empty apartments from Russian people in France, from Netherlands, UK, and France, that we must make these apartments available for the refugees first. And then if people have guest rooms in France, it's not like in America. We have small houses. We don't have, it's rare that people actually have guest rooms and stuff. But for those who do, open your house. I swear to you, it's actually nice. Now that I have my roommates, at the beginning, you know, you both have their habits. You put rules. Like my roommate, she came here. I told her, okay, these are my rules. This cannot, the house needs to be clean. I cannot, if the house is not clean, I will freak out. It's not against you. Even for myself, when my house is clean, I freak out. Okay, I cannot live in a mess, in dirt. You guys need to clean up your stuff. Okay, and then I asked her, I was like, now what's your requirements? Okay, because maybe I'm gonna do stuff that's not gonna bother you. What is your stuff? And then she's pretty cool. Actually, I'm more of a maniac than anybody else. But then it's awesome now because we talk, and the kids, they're playing with each other. Esteban is always want to have a brother or a sister, but now he want to go sleepover with some friends. Now he has friends at the home, and they're playing every day, and it's actually great. We're helping each other. Now I take the kids to school in the morning. She goes pick them up in the afternoon, so gets more time to work, and she gets to take her time in the morning. So you see, in the end, we're helping each other. So it's difficult to open the door, but we need to. Okay, if everybody opens to one person or one family, then we solve the problem here in very few minutes, and welcome them very happy with a panel with their names, and make them feel okay. Oh, we're a safe place, not just we gotta take care of these guys that had a life just like you, and now they're refugees and they lost their everything, and now they're feeling like hobos. This is horrible. This should not even, not a second, we should hesitate. We should be like, come here. When my roommates, when they came here, at first, of course, my first thought was like, so many kids in the house. I told her right away, I was like, but the first thing I answered, I was like, of course you can come right now, like when you want to come. And when they came here, the first thing they came, I was like, welcome, this is your home. I hope you're gonna be good here. Okay, these are my rules, blah blah blah. If you want it to last, I'm telling you already, because I know myself, I'm not easy to live with. You must know that. Be welcome, take whatever you need, makes yourself comfortable, and let's start. Okay, so do it with a good heart and help each other. And then I feel actually more peaceful now, because when you have other, you can rely on each other. So that, yeah, so let me see. And I feel a lot more relieved now that the book is done than when I was before. The whole time I was like, oh my God, I have such a monument to write, and I never see the end of it. And I've been living this book through anxiety, and it was such an effort to write every passage, going through. I don't want it to be a book of complaint. I want it to be a book of truth, a book of solutions, a book of reconciliation. So writing about reconciliation and truth and solution, where you're in a complete state of anxiety and not sure about the future and uncertainty, it was very difficult and very challenging, but once it's done, I feel so much relieved. And I feel it's the same with Turkey and Syria. Now they're in front of this huge monumental task that they're gonna have to do, cleaning up, reconstructing, taking care of the people. I can imagine the anxiety and the stress of the people, and put yourself in this vibration of like seeing what it's going to look like after. There will be trees, and maybe the people now, they're going to have a new life in France, and they're going to rebuild something new, and when they come back, their country is going to be so good. Okay, visualize that. But there is a gap in between, and during this gap, we need help. We can't just let them grind. Okay, and by the way, this is where I absolutely must thank the people who responded to my call when I know Robert Grant. I mean, I don't know, but I think that he gave a humongous amount of money for Syria, and I know that many of you did as well. And I want to say thank you, because it warmed up my heart that I asked a call and that it was responded, because I really felt like it was the payback for me, like how I just never understood how people could just watch me struggle. And now I was like, we can't let these people struggle for their own survival and their own life. And there they came again, and they had their back, and I know that they always had my back too. Even though I was struggling and I was in my anxiety, they always had my back. They were always there for me. And this is why you guys mean so much to me, and I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for this community, how we're so supportive, and we need to show the same for them, because this is just terrible. This is the darkest time. And let me read a passage. There's two passages I want to read. Seek ye ever, this is from the Tablets of Emerald. This is not even from my book. Seek ye ever to gain greater wisdom. Attain it, and shall be light on thy way. Open thy soul, O man, to the cosmic, and let it flow in as one with thy soul. Light is eternal, and darkness is fleeting. Seek ye ever, O man, for the light. Know ye that ever as light fills thy being, darkness, for they shall soon disappear. Open thy souls to the brothers of brightness. Let them enter and fill thee with light. And you can understand it in many ways. Okay. Open your house to your brothers and sisters, but also the darkness is fleeting. The darkness is the war. Okay, it's those grudges, those preconceptions about America. I see stuff, oh, the enemy, the great enemy, America and stuff. There's no enemy. Nobody's threatening Russia. Nobody there. Everybody wants peace. We're all humans. We love each other. So mostly for people who've never traveled, it's easy, you know. They say the Western world is not the paradise that they want you to believe in. I agree. It's not. It's not the paradise that they want to believe it. Life is so hard. Life is most difficult here than it's ever been before. The best place I've ever lived in was Peru, and it was 10 years ago, and even now it's different. It's not even the same anymore. But it's about the life you make of it. Anywhere is difficult. Anywhere can be beautiful. I think my city, if I had more time to enjoy it with my son, if I had more money, if I had more people to do stuff with. I have my friends here, but every time they go out, I don't go out with them because I'm working. I would enjoy the place a lot more, you know. The darkness, it's my own state of mind. It's how I am. I feel trapped. I feel limited. Okay, once I don't feel that way. When this book is done, I will feel like I've accomplished a great mission. I will be able to go out more, and I'm sure I will love this place. We have the beach, we have the flowers, we have vegan restaurants. They're trying to rebuild the city a little bit. When you travel, it's beautiful. I've been to the Grand Canyon. Los Angeles is amazing. New York City, Miami, like Zion Park, the national parks in America is beautiful. Life is difficult everywhere, and sometimes I'm like, you know what, I don't like this place. I'm not making it. It's too difficult. I'm gonna go back to France. It's gonna be just the same. It's expensive in France too. Jobs are difficult and not paid well either. So, and people are in their own individual mindset too, because everybody has their life to focus on. And in Russia, I probably wouldn't like it either because it's too cold. I don't like the cold, and I wouldn't like to be scared of being in the middle of a war. I think the world can be a bad place anywhere because the darkness is the anger, is the anxiety, and this is what we're working to transmute it. Okay? Enter the blue-lit temple and bathe in the fire of all life. Know, O man, thou art complex, a being of earth and fire. Let that flame shine out brightly. Be thou only the fire. Wisdom is hidden in the darkness. When lit by the flame of the soul, find thou the wisdom and be light-born, a son of the light without form. And I really think this is about also what's happening right now. The darkness, the war, the suffering of the people, this 21st century. We shouldn't even be talking about war right now. Seek thee evermore wisdom. Find it in the heart of the flame. Know that only by striving and light pour into thy brain. Now have I spoken with wisdom. Listen to my voice and obey. Tear open the veils of the darkness. Shine a light on the way. Help each other and be better. This is the blue-lit temple. Yeah, what you doing there? Yes. I think I didn't forget anything. I have my little note. Yeah, the relocation, the flights. So everybody needs to contribute. The airline companies as well. They need to provide free flights for Turkey and Syria. This will be your contribution for using all the oil of the earth and causing this earthquake. Fly those people to America, fly those people to France, to Europe, to everybody who wants to welcome them. Okay, France could give a new allocation, okay, to people who welcome Syrian refugees. Open your house and you get Will remove your I'm sorry guys, welcome people, and will remove your uh, home taxes, yearly home taxes, or will give you more benefits, or you'll have a housing allowance. There is solutions, to push people, to encourage people to actually open their home, or we'll offer free electricity. Okay, no more electricity bill, stuff like that. So yeah, we can equip those aircrafts that already exist. We can equip that with sound technology. Try that. Now you have the recipe. You can look at Ministry of Sound, but it's pretty much, this already exists. I didn't make it up. This just needs to be implemented in greater scales. Okay, and surrounded your object like that and be coordinated. When you look at the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds and their coordinations, this is the secret. Coordinate your frequencies and what's in the middle and make it levitate. Move the debris, move all that. Select one piece of the land where we're going to put all the debris, and this will be the rock zone, and then we'll go get the whenever they need concrete or stuff, they will pick up it from there. Recycle. Yeah. And once again, we're moving from a society of opposition to a society of competition to a society of collaboration. We want Russia to join. I don't know how Vladimir Putin will get away with these war crimes, but I think that stopping the war is the first step. Accepting to remove the nuclear weapon. Why don't we offer a political immunity in exchange of a treaty to remove the nuclear weapons worldwide? Okay, because this is the only thing that prevents the peace, is the nuclear, because we're scared that if we interfere, someone's gonna throw a bomb, and this is just politic by fear. Do you want to be a politic by fear, or you want to be offering solutions, collaborations? So let's work on removing the nuclear weapons, replacing them with nuclear renewable power, renewable energy. This is my goal, to unify people, to become more aware of this and take action for it. Okay, go and bring those workshops, bring those insights in the engineering schools, and then they can make PhDs about it. And in 10 years, that's it. 2030, we're in space doing the Space Olympics. Yay! That'd be exciting. No more war. Okay, so my last call for the United Nations. I'd love to work together, do this as a actual job that can help me pay my rent after I'm done with this book. I don't know, I'm in between. I want to retire, I'm done. I hate my business. I don't ever want to talk about it ever again. That's it. And I'm ready to take on the world. This is the end, but this is the beginning. We can do this all together. But I need help too. I need to help to keep going, to continue. I hope you guys will buy the book, contact me for workshops, and organize that as in your organizations through the painting, just because it's something that your people will love to do. If you tell them, hey, you're not going to work for a week, you're going to be painting. Yeah, all right, cool, let's do it. But we're going to be working. You're going to be creating something, and you're going to put in so much energy in those paintings, and we're going to be talking and learning strategies at the same time. We'll learn to do mind maps, brainstorming, all this stuff. So I think I went through everything. Let me see. Did I read all the passages? Thanks again, everybody, for supporting this journey. And I really feel that it's all this is coming into place. And I feel like I already read you the book before you even have it, but it was also the journey of writing it, enjoying the journey, who you're becoming in the journey. That makes sense now. It's not just, okay, the book is done, go buy it. No, we did this journey together. You guys wrote the book with me. And mostly, you know what's so beautiful about this book? It's like we wrote this together from the beginning. It's like you guys seen me when I was married and doing my exhibitions. Then you saw me in my divorce. Then you saw me in my worst. Then you saw me in trying, in the little thing, the big things, the new oracles, the failures, the success, the community expanding, the fights, the heartbreaks, the new loves, the trips, the everything. We've built this together. It's like, wow, at the same time, and still I managed to do it while I was completely broke and still kept wanting to do it. So there must have been some kind of extraordinary inspiration to keep pushing me to do that, and I owe it to you and all this inspiration for a better world. And every time I want to change my mind and stop, I see the wars. I'm like, the work is not finished. I see people in the streets. We need to keep going. We need to bring other people all together and keep unifying and uniting and working for peace and convincing. Sometimes you can't change people. I want to say, you can change someone. If someone just loves to yell at everybody, this is who they are. They're good at that. But you also need to question in yourself. And the problem in society is that the good people question themselves too much, because when you want to do good, you don't want to hurt, you don't want to bother, you question yourself so much, and it leaves the space for the people who never question themselves, the idiots who think they're always right, and they destroy instead of building. And then you let that win if you disappear. That's why I keep going. I have some friends, my friends that I love, and they're so peaceful. They still have, the peaceful life. They don't want to have a home. They don't want to be into politics. They don't watch the news. I was like this. I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to see what's going on in the world. It was a lot better, honestly. Less anxiety, less responsibility, being out of the system. And it's good because we need that. We need people who rebuild more peaceful, slow living communities. But at the same time, getting out of the system, you letting the other ones do the work. If you want to have the good people influence the world and changing from the inside and becoming a better place, you need to go inside. Okay, and now this is the rising of the good politicians. This is the rising of the good marketing agencies. When I grew up, it was 15 years ago. The marketing, the advertisement on TV was, milk is so good for you. Whatever, all the processed food, all the medicines, even now on TV, you still have that. Marketing was a frigging deceiving. Like they were marketing milk, but who was sponsoring the commercials? It was the milk producers, so it was all a mess, when they starting the manipulation of the mind. And this is why I'm writing the book, so you can't manipulate people. Now you see it. But many people who were with this mindset say, no, now we need to change it from the inside. And now you have the good marketing agencies, you have the good politicians, the good military. They're more and more transparent now about what they're doing. You're not here saying, what's going on? Well, we're not looking. Look, they're doing this. Oh, and they're doing that. Oh, and if you talk about it, they're going to bully you. It's like, no, now we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. If you're a little bit smart and you learn to read between the lines and you learn to connect the dots together, everything is in plain sight. There's no more room for conspiracy. Okay? The White House, they put all their meetings, everything openly, so people can invite it to participate and make the change. They can just change everything for 8 billion people. We have to contribute as well. Okay, so talk to your neighbors, talk to your groups, your Facebook groups, and little by little you change the mindset. And I'm most concerned right now with the people of Russia, because if they're convinced that all the world is against them, I felt like this for 3 years, like the world was against me. I was feared for my life. My government is corrupted. You can talk or they're gonna threaten you and stuff like that. I can't imagine the stress, the darkness that they're living in like that. They're in Russia, so we need to support them. show better, because this is what worked for me. I can fight, I can yell, I'm not scared of anybody, and because I'm defending my home, my family, my son, my reputation, and I will fight. But in such a stress and anxiety, right? And this adrenaline gets back to you. It eats you from the inside. What really heals me and makes me becoming an amazing person is when I have people to make proud, and when they prove me better, when they're showing me safe, and this is what we need to provide for Russia. We need to show them better. We're not just McDonald's, we're not just a bunch of corrupts and banks. The banks, they've helped me. Oh my God, the banks, if I didn't have my credit card, Chera yesterday, she's like, what if you didn't have your credit card? Well, I'd probably be in the street right now, because my credit cards, they saved my life. And the bank, they're not there at my door like, hey, we're gonna take your house if you're not paying your credit cards. They've been helping me. They're offering refinancing programs. So they're helping us. They're offering solutions. The governments, they're saying no more fees, unjust fees for the banks and stuff. So showing support to them, so maybe they can show they're going to have at some point, they're going to have to stand up against their own government. The Russian military is going to have to stand and say, no, I'm not going to kill people. Putin, he's one person, and maybe a few coalition around him. And I think he's a good person. I think he believes he's protecting. I think he's in this outcast mentality that he has to prove the world, and we need to go back to that pictures that I showed you, when the leaders get back together and prove that maybe he went too far, too many crimes. The people, they're mad, they're tired of it. But maybe, like I said, when one makes a step, the other one makes a step. And this is how success is not when there is a winner and a loser. Success is when everybody wins. So offer safety, remove the nuclear weapons, and show them better, and replace fear by faith. Okay, everybody, that was my little intro for today. That's it. My book is coming soon. Soon is becoming a reality, man. I'm like, I can't wait for the day that I'm telling you that's it. It's online. I'm tired of pushing back. But at the same time, every day I'm a truth seeker. So I want to show you the truth. I don't want to give you fake information. And it's perfect timing. It's divine timing. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. I love you very much, everybody. Wish you the best day, and I will see you soon and let you know about those links to order the book really soon. Bye bye.